Welcome to today's broadcast. My name is Colleen Patterson, and I'm the Director of Employer Services and Compliance at Savoy. It's hard to believe that we're already in week 4 of our series of On the Road to Reopening. But before we dive into today's topic, I wanted to take a couple of minutes and just say thank you for taking the time to provide your feedback by completing the survey that has been at the end of each of our broadcasts over the last few weeks. It has been unbelievably helpful in selecting topics of interest and certainly the guest speakers that you have heard over the last few weeks. And it's been helpful in just knowing what our partners want to hear. So again, thank you for taking the time. To recap our series to date, we discussed in week 1 the road to reopening with our sales leaders, with a focus on carrier perspectives and the impact of benefit programs and premiums. In week 2, we highlighted workplace safety with Meg McGinn, who is the president of Whole Health Company, discussing on-site COVID-19 testing and also re-entry programs. Then last week, we were joined by Jen Berman, who is an employee benefits attorney and the CEO of MZQ Consulting, which is a benefits compliance firm, and we focused on the topic of PPP loan forgiveness. So what's been going on in the news lately that we wanted to cover as it relates to On the Road to Reopening? Over last weekend, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and we all know that to be the CDC, released new guidance describing how office buildings can reopen safely. So this week's topic is a review of that information. Guidance includes familiar recommendations that we've seen before, such as social distancing and enhanced cleaning. But it also puts more emphasis on office building employers to ensure, prior to them reopening, that the building is ready for occupancy after months of inactivity. So this includes confirming the ventilation system is working properly, opening windows and doors to increase circulation of outdoor air, assuming it's possible and safe to do so, and checking for dangers associated with prolonged facility shutdown. And that would be things like mold growth or even stagnant water. Guidance, which was issued on May 27th, reminds employers that under the Occupational Safety and Health Act, they are responsible for providing a safe workplace and recommends conducting a complete hazard assessment to identify potential points of transmission. What's also noted is employers should do all they can to keep employees at least 6 feet apart. And that would be including things like physical barriers or signs, and even tape mark as reminders of what 6 feet apart looks like, and staggering shifts, start times as well as break times. Cloth face coverings are also recommended for employees, except those who may have trouble breathing, but it's especially important in localities where the virus is prevalent. The CDC also noted that such face coverings are not considered personal protective equipment, so they would not be subject to the OSHA requirements for training, so that's important. A ban on interactions such as hugs and handshakes and the elimination of coffee pots and other shared items were also recommended in this guidance. And the CDC said employers should offer commuters parking subsidies or other incentives to encourage use of personal vehicles instead of using public transportation to get into the office like they may have done so before. Office building employers planning to resume or maintain their on-site operations, they should really consider incorporating the guidance that was recently released. But also, they should also take a look at the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, and we know that to be OSHA, while ensuring that their return to work program and the operations plans that they're putting together incorporate both federal as well as state and local authority guidance. So as everyone continues to put these programs together, although we're hearing some similar things that are consistent, and again, that's the social distancing, certainly the enhanced cleaning practices, but all of that is federal guidance. And it's important to note that not all states have released their guidance at the state level. But as we're continuing to move from phase 1 in some instances, starting to move into phase 1, some states are opening up. They've already been in phase 1 and they're now starting to move to phase 2. It's always important to make sure that you reevaluate the plan that you've put in place so far and make any adjustments based on what's happening in your local community. At the end of today's broadcast, we invite you to complete a short survey. You can find the link to the survey in the video description below. Once you complete the survey, as a thank you, you will receive an infographic providing steps to help navigate the decision to reopening. As always, should you have any questions, please reach out to your dedicated Savoy team and continue to use the resources available in the COVID-19 section of our new and improved website at savoyassociates.com. From all of us at Savoy, stay healthy and safe. Thank you for joining us today.